Well, hello everybody. It's time for another plein air paint and draw. I'm Larry, your paint and draw master, if you want to call it that. Anyway, we're at a beautiful city park today, and we're going to be doing some painting. And today I've got something I want to share with you right off the bat. And I'm going to turn my camera around so I can show you. Okay, so what I got here is my easel set up. I've got a painting there on the easel already, and you may notice, I'll scan down here, I've got a bucket of acrylic gesso, and I've got some canvas boards here lying down, and they were paintings that I had done previously. And what I've done is I put some white acrylic gesso mixed with a little bit of tint. I'm using a burnt umber mixed in with the gesso to give it a warm tone. And here's the painting that I have here, and I did this a while back in my studio. It's a painting of my wife who was modeling with me. So I have a lot of paintings like these that, not the fault of my sitter, she did a great job, but it was just me. I looked at it and I said, hey, you know, this is a beautiful painting, but I'm going to sacrifice it. I'm going to gesso over it and reuse this canvas. It's something that artists have been doing for millennia, and I'm going to do it today. It's a beautiful, warm, sunny day here in the park, and it's June, so warm is an understatement. So this acrylic gesso should dry very quickly, and I will be able to start a new painting on these 4 panels today. Now, one other thing that I'll mention real quick, I forgot to bring a palette board with me today. So one of these panels, probably this one, I'm going to use as my palette. And then later on, when I'm finished and the paint dries on it, I'm using acrylic. It'll dry quickly. After the paint dries, when I get back to my studio, I'll just sand it off and re-gesso it yet again, and I can reuse this canvas board. So that's what we're doing today, and thanks for being with me, and let's come back in a few minutes and we'll see what we're doing. Okay, so I moved to an area under a nice shady tree. I should have shade here all day, even as the light changes. And what I've got here is a nice open concrete walking path, and I like it because it has a kind of a curve. So I'm going to go with kind of a composition of curves and circles, starting with my initial curve of this walking path, and then also the fence. But then we also have the curve and the roundness, general roundness shape of the trees there, sidewalk railing. In the distance, there are trees in the distance, and I've got close up, foreground, middle ground, and distance. And that distance, I've got kind of a suggestion of rounded trees. I've got a little patch of blue sky there, and I'm going to also use these overhanging branches, and I'm going to make kind of a round circle there. So I've got circular shapes. I've also got that little patch of shade that's stretching from the grass onto the path, and I'm going to include that. So overall, that's my composition. So I've started working that out on my canvas, just really rough. I'm just doing what you might call a grisaille in burnt umber. I've got the path curving from the bottom of my canvas all the way around. I've got the railing, which also has a nice curve, and I've got perspective going into the distance and out of the view. And I've got the darkness of the trees, which are there, and the darkness of the trees connecting to the darkness of the trees in the distance. And I like to do my composition of connecting the dark value areas first, and then the medium value areas, which would be for me the shade here, some of the shade behind the trees and under the trees, and then I'll have a high contrast of the leaves that are hanging over, and I might put in more detailed of those, because those are actually end up being the closest. They're what you might call the foreground, but near the top of my canvas. So, and then I have a space for the blue sky, and I might I might adjust, whoops, sorry, my camera. I might adjust the shape of the blue sky and the shape of the distance there. And I've got my horizon line here, mostly obscured by the trees and other things, but that's okay. I know where it is. In this case, it's just close to my middle of my painting, but that's okay. That's fine, because the main point, the thrust of this is my composition. So I'm going to keep developing this, working in some more of my my underpainting, and then we'll continue on. All right, stay with me. Along with my own painting, I have some other artists here, and I have Jude, and I'm going to turn the camera. I'm going to ask him a few questions. Okay, Jude, hi.
Hello.
Start again. So Jude is a working artist?
When I can.
When he can?
When I can.
Yeah, okay. Illustrator, and he's going to show us his work today.
Yeah, working in watercolor. I was over there. It's actually where I parked. I parked and then was looking over it while I was waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And I just liked the view, so I decided to go back and paint it there.
Okay.
But yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You got colors here? Is this, you just worked that out?
This was just, yeah, so I had my palette on the bottom. This was sort of just so I get a good feeling of what they look like on the paper.
Ah. Okay.
And then mixing was all done in my palette.
On your palette.
In front of me, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Did you do any preliminary drawing or just work straight?
I mean, I kind of did this like a weird, this is my first time plein air painting.
Mm-hmm.
So I started with just like basically my base colors, a base wash.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh shoot, I don't have a sketch. So I waited for that to dry, and then I did a very rough sketch underneath that.
With when you say a sketch, with
pencil, yeah.
with a pencil, you did a pencil sketch.
And
very
then,
light then, huh?
Yeah, very, very light.
I don't see it at all, but
and
that's
then
good.
I went back over with pencil.
Okay.
I mean, watercolor, yeah.
Okay. Did you have any concept on composition, or?
Yeah, I mean, I liked the fence going down,
Mm-hmm.
and then there were people sitting here. I didn't feel like painting them.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I thought it was. I thought it was a nice composition with all this framing down here.
Yeah.
But I didn't. You know, I still could have worked on the values a lot more to get it clearer. But this I just wanted to do a quick sketch.
That's good. That's what plein air is all about, right?
No.
Jude, thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right. And Susie.
I like your shadow.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I like your shadows too. How about you, Susie? This is Susie. We've seen Susie before. And there she is. All right. Nice. Nice. Very nice. You want to say anything about it? Not really. Okay. All right. Very good. Well, that's good. All right. So that was nice of everybody to share their painting. And I want to encourage you all to go out and paint and draw with your local plein air group and have fun, do some creativity. So I'm going to show you my painting. I'm going to stop for now. The light is changing. It's getting warm. But let me talk about it real quick. Okay, so this is my painting. It's now, the light has changed, so I'm losing some of my shade. I could move, but I think I'm going to call it a day for now, because you get tired. A little tired, just a little energy. Anyway, I worked on my perspective. I worked on my lights and darks. I'm working here on the composition with the perspective, going out of the distance, got a flight. So I got a nice, good beginning. And I will almost certainly continue working on this in the studio, and I'll share that with you. But for now, this is what we're doing today. All right, and thank you so much for watching our video. Please like and subscribe. It helps our channel so much. Thanks again. Like and subscribe. Thanks everybody for joining us for another plein air paint and draw. You take care. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Yabba dabba doo. All right. Take care. Bye bye.